Hi everybody. So I'm going to play this game called Cloud Climber by 2-Star Games. It is free to play, so if you see what you like, or you like what you see, it's pretty cheap to check it out. I really don't know anything about it. It's one that was kind of recommended to me through algorithms and whatnot, and I read one review that said it took them 15 minutes to play it. So I'm not expecting a very long experience. But people seem to be affected by it. So without further ado, here we go.
Another day has arrived. I'd best get my water before going to work.
Stand Diary, page 1489. I may need to get to the neighboring tower in the future, but I know the other builders keep the entrance to the bridge locked. I saw a key on the table at the top of our tower a few weeks ago before I went to get more building supplies. I haven't been up there in a few days, so I'll need to check if it unlocks the bridge door. If the other towers ever become vacant, I might need to get across, so I'll have to keep this in mind. There's a key. Press E for inventory, so... Oh, it's press and hold, so it's just a list. Okay, so chest key was used. And that chest key is a bucket of water. Okay, interesting. I'm using new video recording software, which may be worse than the Xbox Game Bar. So we'll give it a shot, and if it doesn't work out, then I will use it again. So WASD.
Construction on the last tower stopped weeks ago. I can only assume that the builders have met their fate by now. I believe it's safe enough for me to go and continue building higher yet from where they left off. I'll need to travel across the other 2 towers to get there, but I'm sure I can find a way.
I'm not sure how the game denotes what's usable and what's not, so I'm still kind of clicking around here. Bernie the Great and Terrible, Diary, page 69. For months we've been building faster than ever, yet it seems as if every time we complete a new level, the clouds race higher and higher. I could have sworn we were close to them decades ago, but we're still not done yet. I can only hope that we're getting close. Signed, Bernie the Great and Terrible. Apartments. so far. What do we know? So there were tower builders. They aren't here anymore, I guess. For whatever reason. Maybe they finished their job. Maybe something happened to them. We've met, or at least been in contact with the remnants of Bernie the Great and Terrible. And now I already can't remember the first name that we came across. But keys, doors, maybe these are apartments. What can we learn from just looking? I mean, everything looks dilapidated, right? The flags have been up for a while and have not been replaced. Looking at the materials that build up these towers, I mean, is considering how high we are, looking like brick and wood. So it doesn't feel like a rich people built this. So things feel already kind of desperate and desolate. Can I get up here? No prompt, and it's not letting me go up, so I guess not. I'm guessing this is how I get across. I don't know how to get to that yet. And looking down, does it look like there's going to be a whole bunch of, I mean, most of this is just going to be going up, and it's all vertical. Oh, there's our bridge. Okay, so I need to go down a level. To get onto that. Another letter, another pallet. Edna Diary, page 36. I can't believe today is the 100th anniversary of our tower. I know others have been building much longer, and now I wish our grandparents had taken this whole thing more seriously. 100 years ago, they decided things were getting dangerous. But why didn't they see the problem 200 years ago, or even longer? I'm still glad they started building, but I just wish we had seen this coming. Okay, getting some climate change vibes.
It's been quite some time since I was on the second tower. I haven't crossed this bridge since the builders became greedy and took the supplies that were meant to come to our tower. Just like all the other towers, its inhabitants quickly grew desperate and aggressive. Now it stands empty.
Oh, tower nationalism. That sounds good. Kyle Diary, page 45. I guess I knew this day would come, but I didn't expect it to come this soon. Yesterday we started extreme rationing of our water. A few days back, we stopped getting supplies from the ground crew on our lift. We can only assume that they stole the supplies for themselves, ran out of water and food sources, or simply died. If we don't get into the clouds soon, we might need to see if we can get some from one of the neighboring towers. It's such a trope of video games, but it really does kind of crack me up that everybody leaves out pages of their diary. Nobody keeps them all bound in one notebook. Everybody always writes down their thoughts, just in case somebody like me comes along. Some very nosy person. Bertha Diary, page 9825. So already we're getting some kind of sense that these diaries, these people have been here for a really, really long time. So, Dear Diary, wouldn't it be ironic if it rained now after decades of building? Now would be the perfect time since we just started rationing our supplies more, but I have a good feeling about things. I know I've never seen rain myself, but Grandmother always told me how wonderful it felt. It would be so surreal to be on the ground and see water for miles instead of desert and wasteland. I'm sure it will rain someday. We just need to survive until then. So, some sort of incredible water shortage.
They installed a rope cart on this level to get to the third tower. I should be able to use it to get across.
Okay, Kyle Diary, page 46. I tried to be reasonable, I tried to talk with them, but those greedy little scumbags on Tower 1 didn't want to share their supplies with us. I'm not going to die miles above the ground, drying up like a raisin, while other people watch. I'm going over there to take everything I need, so I can last long enough to watch everyone else die. That's some blue marble logic if I've ever heard it. Okay, here's our ticket to the other side. Let's see if got at least one more level to go up here. And I realize I think it's fairly obvious that I may be missing things, but I am really unsure of the video capture, and also I'm playing this on break, so I'm not looking to necessarily have a full exploration here. Just an experience. So I'm getting some shades of High Rise, which is a J.G. Ballard novel that was adapted into a film with Tom Hiddleston. I'm also getting some vibes from there's a short, and the last I saw it was on Netflix, and I cannot remember the name of it. I think it may be French, but it's silent, and it is a little old man living in a tower, or in a house that's actually the ocean is right up to his doorstep, and he drops something that he needs to go get, and he dives to go get it. And as he dives, we see that his house is actually built on a tower of other houses that are now underwater. And as he goes through each of the houses, he's actually going back through his life, which I will try to remember to look that up and put that in the
I could almost call this place beautiful if these dust storms weren't so suffocating. I hope I find what I'm looking for at the fourth tower.
Hadang Diary, page 1. I couldn't be more frustrated right now. We're running out of water, running out of building supplies, and Carl just won't get along with me. At least 5 times a day, he pretends he's going to push me off the tower. I swear, if I do fall someday, it'll be his fault. Joey, Diary, page 556. Yesterday, Hadang fell off the tower. I don't know how it happened, but it was a shame, especially since he had the key to most of our water chests. We need to break the locked ones open soon, since we've almost emptied out the other chests. Well, Joey, if you literally just read Hadang's diary, which is, yours is right here, his is right there, I think we might have the culprit for what happened to him. everything's falling apart. Everything's dilapidated. And these relationships are definitely not doing very well. Carl, diary, page 57. I just can't get over it. Hadang gives the absolute best reactions when I mess with him. For the past week, I've been pretending to get mad and shove my arms at him, as if to push him off the tower. I don't think that this will ever get old, and I can tell Hadang loves it. Well, should have read Hadang's diary, I guess. One thing that occurs to me is just I'm getting inklings of a sense. I'm not sure how much is intentional or not, but inklings that, human relationships are really fraught and
looks like I'll need to fix this bridge
in this world, and that, towers where people are living on top of each other and struggling for water, and towers are the towers are as much homes as prisons, right? People aren't going to have the same notions of personal space and what's okay and what's not. And it does seem like, particularly in Carl and Hadang's place, that kind of the relationships that people have, like the ability to have those relationships, is atrophied. I'm not exactly sure where I'm supposed to get stuff to fix. The bridge, but we'll take a look around here. It's also possible, I am running the equivalent of a mouse turning on a wheel when it comes to this computer, but it's possible that, oh, here we go. Stack of blanks. Okay. So very simple here, not looking to create too much of a challenge, just trying to not get in the way of an experience, it seems like. I will add that I did look up
it's hard
games.
To believe that I'm the last one here. I never thought it would end like this. Makes you wonder what the whole point was in the first place.
Is it that surprising when people are shoving each other off the towers? A note of ambition. Out of everyone on this earth, our families were the only ones who took the water crisis seriously. We were the ones who started building. We were mocked and told we were insane. We were the ones who everyone looked to when the lakes and rivers dried up. Our blueprints were the ones that were stolen as people became desperate. Out of everyone on this earth, we are the ones who deserve to survive. The clouds are brimming with liquid life, but are still so evasive. We've been building for a long time, but we're not done yet. We have farther to go. We will climb the clouds. The son of Zilchar. Dewey, diary, page 490. This evening, Kevin made a really cheesy speech about how we alone will prevail and how we're the only descendants of the great ones who deserve life. It was honestly the cringiest speech I've ever heard, and that's really saying a lot considering the other stuff he's been saying lately. He also keeps referring to himself in the third person and only responds to us if we call him Son of Zilchar. That gives me some, what's that game? Just like, apocalyptic, self-appointed leaders. Give you some Mad Max. But also, it kind of reminds me of Frostpunk, which is also apocalyptic, but takes place in the early 20th century, I think, maybe the late 19th century, and it's a steampunk apocalypse due to climate change. That game is honestly pretty fun. Maybe I'll play that one again for y'all and me. Getting some tools here. Well, I was saying earlier that it might actually be that the game is a little bit buggy as well. In addition to my software and my glorified abacus of the computer. Which is generally why, if I continue to make videos, they're pretty much all going to be a little bit dressed down. I'm not going to be playing like, my first thought was Crysis, which I think now is outdated, but Cyberpunk or something like that. Literally just trying to explore and have experiences.
This place really is beautiful, even with the dust storms. It's peaceful in a way. I've been working on that tower my whole life and never once stopped to appreciate what we spent our lives building. We only looked up to the clouds, hoping we'd someday reach them so we could prolong our lives. But now that everyone's gone, I know any attempt I might make at accomplishing that would be futile. Rather than spending the rest of my life building a tower, maybe it's time I took a break. It's been a long time, but I think I'm finally done.
Okay, that's it. Like I said, there may have been a few things that I missed, but not too much. There wasn't that much going on, just a kind of walking experience, experiencing a collapsed society that barely has any history, because, I mean, there's nobody left. History is an individual story, a lot of times, a story that we tell, but it's never a story that that one person has all of the access to. It's something that's made between people. So, a really sad story about a society that's just kind of fallen apart. So, interesting experience. Not too much going on as far as the gameplay goes, but definitely one of those food for thought type games, and it feels very quiet, meditative, and I wonder, like, if I had spent more time looking around for things, how much more would I have learned, or how much more could have happened. I'm not sure. But if any of you guys play it and you find out more, let me know. Thanks for listening.